Okay, well, welcome, Croissant, and it's so good to see so many of you here this morning. We're really delighted to welcome so many people from so many different organisations, the community groups all across North Wales that we're working with, our partners in the local authorities, partners in the probation service, the arson reduction service, the police, and hopefully potential partners who maybe have come here this morning to learn a little bit more about the work of the Tidy Towns programme. We want people to learn from one another, share ideas, and very importantly, we're going to ask you to give us your ideas about how we take Tidy Towns forward into the future.
I know lots of you already know me, but for those who don't, I manage Tidy Towns in the Welsh Assembly Government. Over the past year, I've come out, I've had meetings with Keep Wales Tidy, I've met individually with every single local authority in Wales, and that really mirrors the experience that I've had. There really is strong support for Tidy Towns, and that's been great. And to be fair, this is a lot down to the credit of local officers who've used their contacts and their local knowledge to build up a lot of momentum. Tidy Towns, as Leslie commented on, has funded lots of different types of projects. I'm really looking forward to hearing from some community groups later this morning to have a feel of what kind of projects they've been. Now, these are assessed generally on a case-by-case basis to make sure the most appropriate type of support is given. And that support can vary from grant to practical support, if that's equipment or manpower, to advice. Now, the recommendations, there aren't too many, which is good, but really they mainly concentrate on improving what they see is already a very strong and successful initiative. And one of the main ones is that we should give serious consideration to continuing support of Tidy Towns beyond its lifetime.
I'm here to do a very brief talk on our links with Keep Wales Tidy over the years and how we've been involved in various projects. All the work we do is done under the banner of community payback. Now, community payback, you might know it better as community service, community punishment, unpaid work. The names changes, but the work we do generally stays the same. I mean, we get a lot of young people, 18 plus is our age remit, so it goes 18 right the way up. We've had people in their 70s on community service. But one thing we find helps engage people is actually giving people skills. Some people have never worked in their lives, so they come to us. And if we're going out and helping build a sensory garden, doing the work in Chirk in the woodlands, conservation work, we're actually giving these people skills for life. We know we're giving them basic employability stuff, teamwork skills, communication, that kind of thing. So we find that, from our organisation's point of view, we find that helps engage people.
I love Tidy Towns because it encourages residents to take pride in their area.
I love Tidy Towns because it brings the community together, enhances the town and brings a smile on the face of local people.
I love Tidy Towns because it makes a difference at a local level. It's all about community involvement and it plays its part in the bigger picture of regenerating our communities. Collaboration at its very best.
I love Tidy Towns because it develops people's respect for their environment, which in turn benefits not only their areas, but also the natural world that cohabits the area with people. It also reaches young people to understand the importance of their environment.
We've had no vandalism for 3 years and we've no graffiti. And the reason we've no graffiti is because the young people see us doing the work. We're not the council. They leave it alone. It's like their mums and dads doing the work. And the schools come out and they work with us. Probation work with us and the police work with us. What is nice is that the young people, the 13, 14, 15-year-olds are getting involved. Not only that, for 2 years now, the Sensory Garden, the plants aren't missing. I go to the Sensory Gardens and somebody has left me plants to put in. And that to me is phenomenal, and it's getting the community involved. But without Tidy Towns, I couldn't have done it. And Tidy Towns to me should go on forever, because Chirk has got that many projects, please. Thank you.
So we met Kerry, our local representative of Keep Wales Tidy, and she guided us through all the issues that we needed to address. We're a very new residents association, only inaugurated last May, first AGM next week. And without Tidy Towns, we wouldn't really have got so far in this first year as we have done. Without Tidy Towns and Kerry's involvement, we wouldn't have been able to make the community wildlife garden that we have. And we've also been doing litter picks on the beach with the equipment bought by the grants from Tidy Towns. We had a second grant which helped us to do the butterfly border, the biodiversity area, and the bird and bee boxes that we've got in our garden. We've also had loads of tools that we've bought with the grant, which will help us in the future with all the other projects that we've got in mind. And that's all thanks to Tidy Towns. Thank you all.
We're very fortunate we've got a beautiful river flowing through the middle of our town. And we as a group care for the river and the banks of that river. And what we found is that the culture of people seeing us pick up litter has improved the behaviour of people in our town. They pick up the litter as they go. They come and help us litter pick. So just by a small event 6 times a year, you then alter the culture of your community. We have river cleans. We do it once a year. We do it with a local canoe club, and everybody loves going in the river, getting wet through and picking up all the rubbish that people tip in the river. It is getting less each year, but please, I just plea to everybody, if they know somebody that puts stuff in the river, it damages the environment, it damages the life of the fish, all the insects in the river. So please, that's as important as litter picking around the grounds. I think some of the young men that have come along to do the payback have taken a greater interest in the environment, which perhaps they wouldn't have done without that opportunity.
As we all know, children like change, and asking for help from Tidy Towns introduced Judith Wright to our organisation. And change is happening in our community and in our community house garden because of that help that Judith gives. She has introduced structure, neatness and tidiness. Seeds planted in the spring last year produced, amongst other things, radishes. You would have thought the children had dug up gold when they saw the radishes. One little boy just picked it, wiped it down his t-shirt and ate it, and turned to me and said, "I didn't know they came out of a garden. I thought they came out of the supermarket." So what a wonderful achievement if you can tell now a 4-year-old boy knows his food is grown in a garden and not produced off of supermarket shelf. When you work for a community, you do work for families. Our organisation would not be such a success without your organisation. We are volunteers, I know, and we don't get paid for it, but we couldn't achieve our volunteering if we didn't have the support of organisations. And I would like to thank Neighbourhood Watch, Flinter County Council, Tidy Towns now especially, for all the help and support they give our little village. Thank you.